From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Oklahoma is in the middle of spring football, but already thoughts turning to seasons to come, namely the 2020 and 2024 seasons, as Oklahoma announced on Monday that it was doing a home-and-home with the University of Tennessee. And Ryan Aber joins us on the phone. Ryan, lots of times Oklahoma announces these big sort of powerhouse matchups, home-and-home series with other big-time programs, and they're way down the road, but 2020 is not too far away. What do you know about the deal struck between these two teams?
Well, after the series that these two teams had in 2014 and 2015, they were interested in keeping it alive and not making it a regular thing, but certainly not letting it slip away. And the negotiations started not too long after that. And because of OU's schedule, because of Tennessee's schedule, they couldn't do back-to-back years in that window. But in 2020, the Volunteers will travel to Norman again, and then in 2024, the Sooners will head to Knoxville for another meeting at a place that virtually every OU player that I've talked to the last few years has said is the loudest, rowdiest environment that they've been a part of.
You know, Ryan, this just kind of continues to lay out these marquee non-conference games for Oklahoma. A couple of home-and-home series scheduled with Nebraska. Then UCLA and Michigan are also on the docket. It seems like this has become the standard. I mean, Ohio State, the return game, happening this next season in Columbus, so you've got a marquee game there. Just seems like this has become the standard for Oklahoma's scheduling. Do they sense this as important as it relates to getting in that college football playoff, or is this a nod to fans more in your mind?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think the advantage that you get when you play at one of these marquee games and the latitude that it buys you as far as getting into the playoff, I think is very important to Oklahoma, to Bob Stoops, and to Joe Castiglione. We saw it a couple years ago when Oklahoma went to Knoxville, won that game in double overtime. They lost the game a few weeks later in the Big 12 to Texas, but they were able to bounce back and make the college football playoff. So I think that is yet another point of evidence that points to OU continuing its current scheduling philosophy, which is to schedule at least one marquee non-conference game per season, sometimes two, as we saw last year with Ohio State and Houston on the schedule.
Yeah, obviously two games there that were pretty big for the Sooners. Continue to have these big games, so mark your calendars now, Sooners fans. Tennessee back on the docket in 2020 and 2024. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.